Well, hey guys, today I got a video for you. I wanted to review my Black Diamond Storm headlamp. So I've had this thing for probably just over a year, maybe a year and a half now. And some things I like, some things I don't like, but this is probably going to be my first overall not the best review video. Currently my other review videos have been all pretty good, but this one is such, it's popular enough that I figured I should probably give my 2 cents on this one and warn anybody about the potential downfalls. So I believe this is the Storm 375 lumen. This is kind of the newer one, but it's not the newest. It was the newest when I bought it. 375 is kind of like not that bright. So I was out using this bear hunting this spring, and you could pretty much see 40 yards ahead of you, and past 40 it was pitch black. So if you're group hiking, this would probably be great for you because you guys can all share your lights together. If you're solo, and especially if you're in the backcountry, this is probably not going to work out for you. I was hoping it would because it's really lightweight. And you kind of think, oh, Black Diamond, you know, that's a really good company. They make high-end gear. People climbing Everest use Black Diamond. And in my opinion, they're probably getting sponsored because I would not trust my life on this headlamp climbing Everest. So first off, what do I like about this headlamp? I like the color scheme. The little camo band right here looks pretty nice. I like the weight of this thing. I don't like how, or sorry, I should say, I do like how all of the weight of the headlamp is right here on the front. There's no cords or any wires or anything going to the back where the battery packs are on some headlamps. So I like having it all right here, and no wires to get tangled up, no wires to worry about getting kinked or cut or anything like that. Again, another thing I really like about this is it's waterproof. So it's, I don't remember what it was, but I'll write it in the description or right at the bottom here, the IPX, whatever rating it is, for dust and waterproofness. But waterproof, that's an absolute necessity for me where I'm at here in Montana and the Northwest area, for snow and rain and whatnot. So gotta have it to be waterproof. It's got a spot light, a floodlight, and red, green, and blue light. So you can kind of toggle between those. You can have the spot and the flood on at the same time. So I'm assuming that's probably where the 375 comes from. But if you just have the spotlight on, I think it might be about 300. So not that bright. And in one of my previous videos on my spring bear hunting video, I did say I was going to upgrade this. I'm still doing a lot of research on headlamps, and one of these days I'm going to buy what I think is the ultimate headlamp to replace this. Great thing about this, it uses AAA batteries, so you can pretty much find them anywhere, and I use the lithiums because they're way lighter and they're also higher voltage, so it makes the headlamp a little bit brighter. And they're more expensive, of course, but it's worth it if you're in the backcountry by yourself. The headlamp here, the strap is phenomenal. So I think Black Diamond nailed it with this. I have no complaints with the strap. It doesn't have any rubberized insides or anything like that, but feels great. You can tighten this up and it holds, and it looks good, and it's soft, and you can just kind of fold it up and get it tucked out of the way. I like how they have their logo on there, so you know they didn't just buy some kind of generic strap and throw it in here. They actually did put their logo on here and thought that part through. So pretty nice. It's got the battery indicator, 3 lights here on the side. That's kind of necessary to have because otherwise you're using your headlamp and it just suddenly dies and you don't even know that it's dying on you. So this kind of tells you about that. Here on the side, it's got an interesting feature. So basically if you tap on it or swipe it, you can get it really bright or dim really quickly without having to push the button. I think that's kind of an unnecessary feature unless you have like if you have gloves and stuff. I don't even think that'll work, but I'd rather just have a bigger, easier to find button. That way, like if you're in your tent in the dark, you can actually feel what you're pressing and not have some kind of tap or slide thing on the side. Seems a little unnecessary. On my particular model here, the lens on the front bezel here has cracked in multiple spots, micro cracks, so I'm not entirely sure if this is waterproof anymore. I'm going to bet money that it's not, and that's why I'm kind of really hesitant to carry it around now, because I'm not sure if one of these days it's just going to die on me. And actually, right before I made this video, the green LED light here was starting to fail. A few days ago I tested it and the green light was barely on. I could barely see it, and then all of a sudden it started working again. So I'm not sure if it's because of the battery issue, if it just needed to get tapped a little bit on the side or what. But something to keep in mind, I've had this thing for about a year and the lens is already cracked and the green light has been unreliable, I should say. So mind you, I'd never dropped this. I've never put this in water, and I haven't extensively used this. This has been in the side hip belt pocket of my hunting pack, and something in there ended up causing it to crack. Now, I only keep a little bottle of hand sanitizer in there. Usually keep a little spray bottle of tick repellent, so nothing really hard. Once in a while I have some spare shell casings in there in a Ziploc bag wrapped in electrical tape, so nothing really hard there, and there's no pressure against it. I mean, it wasn't all packed tightly in there, so something caused it to get cracked, and I don't know if it's just from me sitting tightly with the hip belt on, if it was something in the pocket that caused it, but mine cracked. And so can't recommend a $40 to potentially $50 headlamp if it does that within a year. The plastic housing is pretty nice. It's obviously lightweight, but it does feel very fragile, and this little clip that holds it also feels really fragile. So if you want to open it to get to the batteries, you have this little clip here on the side, and I don't think that thing will hold up very long with use. But let me open this and show you inside. Here's the AAA batteries. I have 4 of them in there. These top 2 are pretty easy to take out, but the bottom 2 are a pain to get out without some kind of pry tool, a knife, or a pick or something. So it says made in China, but they could have got that figured out a little bit better, how to get those batteries out or use a rechargeable. So one thing I'd love to this to have is to have a little USB port on the side, or at the very least have rechargeable battery pack that you could plug a USB cable in, opening it. But as this is, you can't recharge this in the backcountry. You have to carry spare batteries with you, and then you have batteries that are just loose and useless somewhere in your pack. So I'd much rather have this be a rechargeable one, because I'm already carrying a power bank for my phone and my Garmin InReach, so I might as well be able to use that to charge up a headlamp in case I need to. Overall, I'd probably give this headlamp a 6 out of 10. It looks great. It does work. It is waterproof. It is built pretty well on this backside, but it does crack pretty easy. The lights go out pretty easy. It doesn't charge very easy. So overall, it's something to stay aware of. For this kind of money, you can buy a much better headlamp, a much brighter one, a much more reliable one that can get charged really easy. And Black Diamond is a very liberal company that I'm not happy to support, and I don't think I'll support them anymore. So stay away from Black Diamond if you're a conservative and you want to support American values. This headlamp is probably going to be used in a non ride or die environment, somewhere at home, somewhere working on a vehicle, at work. But I do not trust this thing in the backcountry anymore. I might just throw this in the car and leave it in there for emergencies or such. So fire's going out. We're here at the camp spot, and it's nice and quiet and tranquil here. We're just making dinner. Got some tea here, stoking the fire. Just perfect weather. So I'm going to enjoy my night. Thanks guys for watching. Have any questions or comments, concerns, rebuttals, or disagreements with my review of this headlamp, write it in the comment section below or write me directly. So thanks guys for watching. Stay wild.